Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Reese and welcome back. You'll never know what I'm laughing about. Welcome back to our Final Fantasy XVI Let's Play, where we are continuing to go through a lot of side quests. We have a ton ongoing, and I'm going to pick which one we're going to do next kind of at random. I feel like we need to go back to the Dalamil Inn, because they were in the middle of being attacked by Akashic bandits who were invading their village, and we probably need to address that issue right now before everyone here gets killed.
They're coming.
Oh yeah, how's this going?
Know your place, bearer.
Yeah, no one here trusts him, unfortunately. So it's telling me to go that way, but I'm not sure if that's even meet Havel at the gates of Randalah. See, we need to make sure we're like tracking the correct quest here. So this is going to be Lines in the Sand Part 2. Yeah, we're not even tracking that one, so we got to go back to the journal now. And from the journal, we can pick Lines in the Sand Part 2 after we get rid of, like, the inconvenient truth. And in fact, let's untrack all of these. Let's only track the one we're in the middle of doing so we don't get confused. There we go. Now we need to convince everyone here in town to do an evacuation. I almost said an excavation, but digging now is not the time for it. Now is not the time for digging at all.
It's you.
What do you want, Lord Underhill?
To pass on an important message. There's been an ether flood out in the Velcroy. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering has been swallowed. They're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now, and they could be here at any moment. You need to begin preparing for a full-scale evacuation right away.
Oh, do we? And who was it who gave you this disturbing news, might I ask?
Lubor, perhaps? The man spreading the same poison out in the square as we speak.
Actually, no.
You may believe
that's not where we
lies,
got the
my
information
lord,
from.
But we know better.
But why would he lie about something like this?
It wasn't. He wasn't the one who came up with
Some
it.
twisted attempt at revenge, perhaps. If he had not been unmasked, he may well have been elected our leader.
Okay, but
A great honor for one of his kind.
he's not the source of this
He
information.
might well feel aggrieved at having been denied.
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but it has become all too evident where your sympathies lie. Lubor cannot be trusted, and neither, therefore, can you.
You may not trust me, but for the sake of your people, ask yourselves if there is any chance that this is true.
There isn't. You can be certain of that. Now be off with you.
You're making a mistake.
Come, Clive. If our words will not move them, then we must find another way to help save the town.
Again, so glad Joshua is with
Let's speak
us.
to Lord Verda.
But speak to who now? Who are we speaking to? Do I know this individual? I guess I suppose that I must. I've just forgotten them. Did you say Lord Ferda? Where do we know them from? Why have we engaged with them at any point? Yeah, everyone here is super chill, all things considered. Also, why did we not point out to them that that was not our source of information?
Anything
Also,
I can interest you in?
while we're here and I'm thinking about it, let's top back up on potions
are.
and high potions
My thanks.
and strength
An
tonics.
excellent choice.
Thank you. And I'm also going to get 1,000 tables orchestration
My
for
thanks.
40,000 apparently. Jeez, what do we get if we like max out all of these orchestrations? If we get all the songs, do we have any benefit?
Sid, what's wrong? I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the Akashic, but they wouldn't listen. They've convinced themselves that nothing Lubor says can be trusted. The bloody fools.
Was this the guy who
Which means the
ran
town
up and
guard
warned
can't be
us?
counted on for support.
Who is this
I
guy?
can. If there's anything I can do to help you defend Dalamil, you only have to ask. I appreciate it.
Sid! Verda! I've been looking for you everywhere.
No, it was Victor, wasn't it?
Victor? I thought you'd left.
I couldn't abandon a friend in need.
I can't
Your
remember.
boy is in need at this very moment. Come quickly.
Enough time has passed that I've forgotten all of these people. I mean, Victor, I have a vague memory of. It's more so who did what that I'm having trouble remembering. Did they kill Lubor?
You have to believe me. The Akashic are coming. They don't eat. They don't sleep. They don't tire. And they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There won't be no parley, no mercy granted. We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me.
Can we please explain to them that you're not the source of this information?
You will die. You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves.
His kind, it's just him.
You should run!
Okay, that's the worst start to a stoning. That was literally a pebble.
Run, bearer!
Yeah, run!
Run!
Far, far away!
Just go, bearer! Yeah. Yeah.
I say we let them die. They seem like awful people.
Lubor, wait. Someone's coming.
Stop! You're hurting him!
I think that's the idea, kid. Well, now they all feel bad.
What did Lubor ever do to you? He solves all your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad? And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that?
You're trying to use reason on a group of people who aren't capable of
The
it.
streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty.
Everyone on this continent hates bears irrationally. You can't rationalize with the irrational.
Smoothly round here.
It looks like they're effectively doing it, though.
Ever say thank you? Ever? But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling? He keeps this whole place going! And you act like it doesn't even exist!
Lubor, we've heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
His plan was to run. Do you really think he's got like a plan B for defending the town?
We won't run, but we will fight.
See, at this point,
All right, then.
I would just say you're on your own. Figure it out yourself. You've just attempted a stoning, and you want me to now help you?
Gather round if you don't want to die.
Allow me to explain the situation. The ether flood occurred near the village of Cheratina, deep in the Velcroy. The place had been abandoned for years, until the League of Outlaws decided to make it their base of operations. Now they're all turned, and if the scouts' reports are correct, heading in this direction.
They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage, and they are utterly unpredictable. With the bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to attack. When these creatures come, Dalamil will have the bitterest fight it has ever faced on its hands. The town guard will muster at the north gate. The rest of us will take the south. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts and messengers, ready to spread word of the size and nature of the Akashic force as soon as it is spotted. And as soon as it has been, We will converge on its position and see that it is driven back from Dalamil at all costs. Conrad, can I count on the support of the town guard?
Always.
I leave the selection and coordination of the messengers in your hands, Victor. And the command of our men in yours, Ferda. If you would both be so kind.
Consider it done.
As you wish.
Natalie, I would ask that you and your people have the townsfolk barricade themselves inside the bathhouse. And tell the merchant not to waste time securing anything beside the essentials. Preserving life is our one and only concern. As long as we survive, it doesn't matter what trinkets we might lose. Our riches can be regained. And if anyone doubts that, let it be known that the Briar's Kiss stands ready to cover any losses.
Very well. I shall tell them.
Where do I fit into this plan?
Where else but the most perilous place of all? I would like you to travel to the home of our erstwhile League of Outlaws, Cheratina itself. The main host is most likely still there, and Dalamil will not be safe until it is eradicated, root and branch.
A little gardening. How pleasant.
I doubt it. I have a feeling these weeds will be particularly stubborn.
Luckily, so am I.
So you are. All right then, we all know what we have to do. Now it's simply a matter of doing it. For Dalamil.
For Dalamil! I just want to throw out there that we could deal with this entirely on our own. We don't need the villagers' help. They don't need to execute any sorts of plans or anything.
I'd better not keep them waiting.
We could have very simply, and it would have been so easy, just run down here and dealt with this ourselves. I do like that they've set up battlements out front. That is fantastic.
That will keep some of them out.
I would love to actually watch a full-fledged war take place here, but the game is not going to give us that. I would love to watch like a full defense of this town, but again, the game is not going to give us that. I think we've come upon this area before, and we decided not to investigate it, or maybe we did and there was just nothing here. But I see now that it's definitely part of a quest involving
Can't leave a single one alive.
many dead footpads. Here we go. If we kill them all and they never attack the village, will they start to, like, doubt Lubor again? Will they say that he lied? And we could be like, actually, no. We went and we dealt with them all. It was quite a cleanup operation. They was like, you would defend him! Herga-burga, dinga-dinga. I don't know why that's what they would say, but they might say something akin to it. Probably not that exactly. Herga-burga, dinga-dinga. Considering it's not like words in any known language, and certainly not in the world of this video game, it's incredibly unlikely that's what they would say. But, you know, I mean more so just like something of the sort. Not necessarily that specifically. Yeah, we're definitely going to defeat all the bad guys here and then go back to the village and they're going to be like, so Leopold tricked us into building all these battlements and then you're going to lie about it because you're his lapdog, you is. That's not how they sound in the village at all. That's not the... You know what I'm getting at here. You know what I'm getting at. That's going to be the exact conversation we end up having with them. I just realized that this is an Akashic Gentleman. That's his actual, like, name. That's his actual beast title. Akashic Gentleman. I love that. This guy definitely wears a fedora. He definitely tips it and says "milady," right? He definitely tries to figure out why the other guy got the girl when he did everything right. I mean, like, sure, he leered at her from the corner and, like, did weird heavy breathing every time she talked to him, but, like, he's a gentleman. The other guy doesn't do that. He just talks about his interest in cars and sports. And women throw themselves at him. Grr. Not throwing shade at anyone in particular here.
The League is disbanded.
Well, he's got the one-liners today.
Get back to Dalamil and see how the others fared.
Hopefully we arrive at the scene of a battle that we get to participate in. I would love that. We don't get to participate in large-scale warfare. It kind of looks like town's just as it was. Oh, it's just sometime later. Well.
All the Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
The last of them here, perhaps.
Lubor, Sir Clive has returned.
Clive! What news from Cheratina?
It's done. Root and branch.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been driven...
Dang it! There's nothing useful here. I was hoping to find out who some of these people were.
And we need not fear the arrival of any more, thanks to Clive. Victory is ours.
We bloody did it.
We saved Dalimil.
Lubor, allow me to apologize. After all you have done for this town, we should never have doubted you.
But we did. And for that we are truly sorry. We only hope that you can forgive us.
We need you, Lubor. Dalimil needs you. So, if you would still like to be considered for the position of mayor, you have our backing.
Oh, how about that?
You do remember that I'm a bearer, don't you?
We do. But that is not a stain on your character. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be, not what you truly are. The man who saved Dalimil twice over.
Look at that. Positive change on the world.
I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from the start. Unity is the key to defending Dalimil, and I do not doubt that we shall need to call on our combined strength again. When that time comes, I will expect us all to pull together, just as we did today.
Of course. You have our word.
And secondly, you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here in Dalimil. Any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same rights as any other citizen. They will not be judged by what they are, but who they are.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing everything.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in return. That you continue to work for the good of Dalimil, as you always have.
Condition accepted. Well then, it seems my mayorship is all but confirmed. Do I get some sort of special hat?
You kind of hope he does, right?
How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalimil in disgrace. And now, I find myself her leader. Here. For everything.
Lubor. About the children.
Fear not, you are of course relieved of your responsibility. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see them brought up as outlaws. I'll make sure they're safe here.
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children, but everyone in Dalimil.
I'll do my best. Can't have all your hard work going to waste.
An absolutely beautiful story. Got any funny quips on it? No? All right. Quest completed. Not too shabby, everyone. We got a signboard, the Breath of Light Impulse, and a meteorite. It would be great if that opened up like 12 more quests here, but it does not look like that's going to be what happens. I like the way that they're standing right now. Makes it look like they're avoiding talking to one another. They are not friends. They do not get along. We're doing great. So I don't know what this quest is down here. This is Aiming High, which is not one of the quests that we are currently tracking. We've also got a quest over here for Where There's a Will. And then there's one more up here, which is Three's Company. And that one is also not being tracked. So Three's Company, Where There's a Will, and Aiming High are the three that I guess we want to be tracking at the moment because they're all in the immediate area. So Aiming High. Okay, I've got to unfollow that one and follow that one. Unfollow that one and follow that one. And then what was the last one? Wait a minute. Under trial and... Wait, wasn't it Three's Company? Randala? I'm pretty sure it was, wasn't it? Am I crazy? Hold on, I've done wrong. Yeah, more or less. We're gonna go ahead and continue everything here. All of these quests are definitely like wrapping things up as we go. And also, I tracked the wrong one. Where There's a Will should be. I guess it's a specific location as opposed to like a region here. There's a couple of other fast travel points we could go to right now. But I'm not sure. You know what? Actually, yeah, going to Dravozd would definitely get us closer to there. So we'll start from that point. It feels like all the quests we're doing now are sort of like wrapping up long-going quest lines. So that's good. So hopefully once we're done with all these, we'll have everything we need to build that super sword. Because I think that super sword is going to tie put a nice bow on the long-running Blacksmith's Blues quest line, which is the one that I think we've had the most level of investment in. Is it inside of here? This seems like as good a place as any for it. You be on your way.
Looks like we found him.
Oh, I thought we were going into here. No, this is fine too, though. Here we go. We'll hit him with all the big things we got first off. This is one of many big tortoises we fought in our time, so I'm not even bothered. I've already forgotten why we're fighting this thing. Obtain oil from Aludel. Defeat a desert tour in Karava. This is for Aiming High, so this is to make the ship fly or whatever we're meant to be doing there. I remember. I know what's up. Finish him off. Beautiful. That does not count as a notorious mark, it seems, so that's not quite ideal. But we did get some shell, which I think is what we wanted, as well as a meteorite and 32 sharp fangs. There's a lot of sharp fangs in this beast. I'm surprised.
Mid needs another. She can come and get it herself.
No, she can't. I feel like if we send Mid to do that herself, Mid will die, and we'll feel bad about it. Turns out there's not a whole lot here. There's 10 gil lying around on the ground, which is always a shame. That apparently... Oh, and 3 desert roses. 10 gil seems to be the amount that most people can drop without noticing, because otherwise you'd think they'd go back for it. You feel like there's probably something good inside this house that we can't get inside of as well. Like, I feel like if we peer through here... What if we just saw the Buster Sword leaning in the corner over there? That would first off open up a lot of questions about the lore. I would have a lot of questions. I think we're kind of done in this region, though, for that. So now we can fast travel up to here and see what's going on for this quest. We'll have to continue that quest elsewhere in a different region to get the oil, I assume. So we'll worry about that when the time comes. But for now, let's focus on what is nearest to us. We've been here a couple of times already doing quests inside of that shack there. Both of which took us over to Ash. How you doing? So these are just more of the acolytes. Is everyone in this town an acolyte? Or members of the Undying?
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha.
First off, you didn't bring it to us. We wandered over to you.
To our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both.
Oh.
Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Okay, we're off on a little bit of a hunt. That's fine. We can manage that.
Titan's
I do
Wake is
wonder.
to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Well, I mean, what problem would haste possibly bring about? That we might frighten it away? Let's go ahead down to the Gilded Path. That's going to get us a bit of a shorten our journey a little bit, should I say. I was about to say that'll give us a little bit of a shortcut, but that sentence didn't make any sense, and I'm glad I didn't say it. Also, that's not the button I meant to hold down. This was. So we could summon our Chocobro and get there a little bit more quickly. Is it going to be, yeah, along this path here? Should be quick and simple to dispose of this beast, and then continue along our journey to other quests. I've kind of lost track of which ones we've already done and which ones we have left to us. I've also lost track of the total number of ongoing quests. I know I could go in and count them anytime I wanted, but, oh, here we go. No, yeah, that's it. That's it right there. I'm going to manually get off the Chocobo instead of waiting for it to kick me off. I wonder if this guy counts as just like a regular creature, or, you know, sometimes part of the quest will be a notorious mark. It is not a notorious mark. It is not a fan of this, though. Does not like lightning. Fire, it seems less bothered by, but not by much. Let's see. You know what? It seems like a flying creature. It'll probably hate that. It's not going to like it being caught up in the winds in such a way that it'll prevent it from flying, which is probably all the more reason to do it. And here we go, our last ability. Gosh darn it, it turns out it can fly. I think it's going to survive this. I think it's going to actually make it through this. It's going to get back on its feet again. It's not. We're going to get it before it's defeated. I don't think we are. I think it's going to get back on. No, we got it. You just got to stick. You got to say a thing and stick with it and just assume complete confidence in your maneuvers. Oh, also, we got a Heartstone, which I assume is what we wanted. We got 2 of those. Why right and some sharp fangs. We love sharp fangs.
This is the Heartstone.
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
I hope it is, because it didn't drop any other stones. And also, it's titled the Heartstone. Do they not have tooltips in the... I guess they don't have tooltips in the world. Tooltips would be cool in real life. Maybe that's something that Apple hasn't announced for the Apple Vision Pro. Or maybe there'll be an app for it. Just real-life tooltips. You'll be walking through Walmart, and you can pick up, like, a sneaker and be like, what are the stats on this? And it'll pop up. That, hey.
Founder, you were safe.
That'd be cool.
The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes. This radiant luster, like frozen flame, it is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your Grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith.
What if this item has such low stats we don't ever wear it? I'm assuming it's going to be an item that we can equip.
The armbands are complete.
It might just be a visual thing that they give us.
Take them. They are
Or maybe they just
yours
end up on Clive's
after
wall.
Heartstone is
Where?
harder
Whoa,
than
whoa! Where was Clive's arm just
even
then?
ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone.
Was it below the
represent
screen or did it not
unbreakable
exist?
Bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms, only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning.
That was lovely. Not finished yet, though. Gotta wander outside.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, for it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Where is Hawk's Cry Cliff? Is that even in this region? Isn't that back in the duchy? That's a bit of a journey to make to wrap this up, is it not? I think what we're going to need to do is go up to Baklad and do this quest first before we just, like, full-on leave this region. I know that that's going to put, like, we've been kind of following this one through, and it's going to feel a bit abrupt and sudden to just shift gears and pursue a different quest entirely, but that's sort of been the last couple of episodes, hasn't it? It's just a series of side quests. While we're here, let's check in and see exactly, first off.
Find a finer array this side of the strait.
I'm sure that's true. Oh, apparently we already bought that orchestration role here. That's good. I'm not sure if there is any real benefit. Hey, look at that. There's Origin. I'm not sure if there's any real actual benefit to buying all of the songs other than just having a bunch of options when you're back at the hideaway to listen to different songs, which, don't mistake me, that's kind of cool. We do enjoy changing them from time to time.
I'm scared.
Twice now, I think, maybe 3 times. I'm just wondering if there's any sort of completion bonus if you buy them all, or maybe you get some sort of unique side quests? Or side quests, even. A sign quest is a different thing. That's where you just get hired to go hang up, like, utility signs, which would be fun, too. A side quest, though, maybe where we have a musician. He hasn't really played much of a role in the story other than occasionally singing about the story, which is kind of cool. Guys, leave me be. Can't you? No, it's not time to fight, Clive. Get that idea out of your head. Just because someone wants to take a fight with you doesn't mean you gotta pick up on it. We can just, like, jump over our enemies. That's an option that we've always had. Hopefully we find out what this is all about at some point. I'm assuming it has something to do with the history that we were once told about, of the people rising up while the alien beings slept. I want more. I want actual, like, cutscenes of the past. Oh, yeah. This place we can't go into. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Just hanging out by the gate for some purpose? Trying to negotiate with these people? What's the situation?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Don't pick fights you can't...
Allow me.
...to fight. Oh, but do pick fights we can fight, I guess?
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't.
This man...
Finish
This man has no clue! He is right, though. The negotiations will be short. So it's not quite all of them finished, but let's hit him with one of these. Whoa, my gosh, it flung them! I don't know if I ever noticed it could do that before. Jeez, Torgal just coming in here, immediately tossing them all to the side. I do see, by the way, that there is some loot to be had back over there. Lest I just imagined it, which is possible. Oh my gosh, it's just you, eh? Surely they're gonna have some reinforcements, right? Like, it can't just end like this. It's gonna end like this. It was short. We warned the fella. We're about to level up, too. Not right now, but soon. And I can't remember, was it 5,500 or some odd we needed?
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
Hopefully he gets the measure of us
No,
just
my
from that
lord.
encounter.
You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. but I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together, even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals, but those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either.
But our uncle.
And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers.
I do wonder who we're talking
I suppose
about.
we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience.
Who do you have
Someone like
in
Quentin.
mind? Oh!
I hope I can convince him at least.
It's not what I was expecting, but sure, sure. I suppose our uncle is more of a businessman than he is a politician, really, isn't he? These guys are just going to linger here, aren't they? I do want to come back here and get this chest. I wasn't imagining it. I definitely did see it. And we got an empty shard out of the deal. Would love to like get through this door and go explore the city, but alas, the game shan't allow it, and that is okay. So what more is there to do in this particular realm? Absolutely not a gosh darn thing. Back to the big map? Back to the big map. So I think that now we'll move up north. We'll kind of go up here to Northreach. We'll stop in at Lostwing, and we'll just kind of sweep this direction and wrap up the remaining quest lines, and then we will head back to the hideaway. Let's go first to Northreach. Should we go ahead and, I see that Three's company is being tracked. We should probably change the other two. So under new management, and then I believe it was trial and error, need to be tracked. So we will leave, no, we'll get where ahead of where. So will and aiming high, and replace that with trial and error under new management. There we go. Now we're tracking the quests in our immediate vicinity. Vicinity?
Well,
just add an R in there, why not?
This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, master.
He's a little
Please,
boy.
Just sit. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it.
See,
And
Gav's
I've
a
been
special
training
guy.
ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was mine.
Ah, it's a beautiful story.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine Cursebreaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Now listen. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook.
By the
You are
sea?
to find it and bring it here.
Didn't it get destroyed by like a fell dragon? And then White Walkers walked
Anything
through
else?
it?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You will need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
We're gonna have to go rescue him, aren't we? He's gonna go missing. It's gonna come up with some time later, and he's not gonna have reported back in yet.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way.
Is this gonna be one of those fun quests where we gotta like follow along behind him and then secretly deal with issues as they arise without him noticing, so that at the end of it he feels like he accomplished all the stuff by himself? That would be fun, and definitely not what the game's gonna do, I can already tell you. First off, let's get a chocobo, because stealth is for losers. When you can just, like, charge through, like bad guys, that's the move. That's always going to be the move. Also, you can jump over them. Like, see this guy here? Look at this raptor here. Oh, yeah, we just kick him. Just kick him. It'd be great if you could, like, hold the kick to do a super kick, but you can't. You just gotta keep kicking repeatedly. I think we figured out that if you kick repeatedly, if you get him up against something, I think if you hold down the gallop or something like that, while also attempting to kick them, you do like rapid kicks, but you do have to get them pushed up against something. This is a trick we've only actually managed the one time. Look at that. That's how you defeat him right there. What did he drop? Did he drop anything of substance? 4 bloody hides? Well, there you go. Took a while, though. Not interested in hanging around doing this any longer. We're going to carry on and just kind of leave them be. Is there a path I need to follow to reach this place? It looks like it's up here. Have we ever gone up here before for any reason? I don't know if we have. This might be our first time in this area. Oh, wow, we almost got enough XP to level up from that.
Perhaps young Ember really is ready.
Maybe. Well, that's
maybe not.
unfortunate timing. That's deeply unfortunate timing. The one thing we don't want to find is young Ember being, like, eaten by a... I almost said a Moogle. I don't know why that's what came to mind. That would be grim, though.
Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Yes, you can.
Then run!
There's absolutely no reason you can't.
If you want him, you'll have to go through me.
It's not good for a scout if in a situation where you're about to die, you're so panicked you can't even draw your weapon. The thing that you're going to rely on in that situation to save you. That's probably not a good sign for him. I think he's probably going to lose some marks for that. I was really trying to get it defeated before it managed. It's called a Tot Avis. Hold on, forget everything I was about to say. That's a very silly name. Does that imply that it's a child? Like, is that what it means? Is that what's being implied by calling it a tot? That's a gosh darn tragedy there. Look at that. Hopefully we've given him a good lesson while watching us. Like, see, what you do to defend yourself is you do pull out your sword. You do actually do that to defend yourself. Got some dragon talons out of it. How does our sword stay there?
Ember.
We just like set it back there and it stays in place. I'm not sure if that works.
Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is then.
Unless he took the opportunity while we had it distracted to continue his mission. Yeah, we've definitely not been up here, or we would have stolen the break bird or whatever we just picked up there. Hey, speaking of, you know what? We've not actually gone through all of our gear before. God, it takes so long to switch between these. Gosh dang it. Okay. What have we got here? Increases potency, increases maximum HP by 500. That's not nothing, but maybe like something we've got here is better. Increases down thrust damage. Cooldown, cooldown, cooldown. Yeah, none of this is really all that interesting, is it?
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
Is he dead? Did he get eaten?
Thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But by the time I had, he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off in your direction, but...
Based on absolutely nothing, we assumed that.
I'm sorry, Sid. I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Eh? How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
Did he know we were following him and he...
Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you there, Nazaire. And he did it all on his own.
I mean, in a way, he did it on his own.
He did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
Of course. We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
If he knew we were following him and decided to shout for help in order to get a distraction, that's some, like, 3D chess level stuff right there. I respect that.
This would be an easy decision.
That's actually somewhat brilliant. That would be massively impressive.
So you are content to abandon the people to their...
We're just gonna cut in on this conversation. Sabine is not having this. She's very upset.
If you're a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of, you know what.
I don't.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's what.
All right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere on its shores.
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here later.
I'm assuming we're talking about Akashic. I don't know Grigor's Weep, but if it's near the shore, that is not where I anticipated. That can't be right. Okay, I thought it would be on the other side of the village, like along here somewhere, because there's this West Watch that, oh, right, West Watch and then East Watch. That checks out, actually. That makes perfect sense. But there was never any story reason to go up here that I can recall. Seems like we're just going down here, though. That's fine. We'll bring our brother with us. I think we could probably wrap up this quest and send our brother back to the hideaway. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. That's why we're saving that quest for last. Because if that is correct, I want to keep him with me. He's useful. Every so often he does like a giant energy beam that wipes out a bunch of enemies. And that's a convenient and useful ability to have with you. Slay the enemy. Oh, my best ability's not even reloaded yet. I do have a twister, though. I've got that, and that used to be my favorite ability, but it's increasingly less and less useful just based on how long it takes and how sometimes it doesn't really get everybody. Here we go. This is what I actually wanted, so we'll kind of queue this one up as well. Hopefully it recharges before we actually need it. If reinforcements show up, I'm going to be very upset, because that means I've already wasted my two best crowd control abilities. Yeah, here they come. Look at that. Gosh dang it. Probably should wait until they grouped up before doing this. What I've effectively done there is I've wiped out one guy with lightning. Enemy slain! Not half bad. Level up, baby! Come on! Oh, we're like kissing the next level right now. We are so close.
Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me.
Thank you for clarifying.
Are you alright?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. The thralls have returned. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, there's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last time. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople, stirring up ill feeling towards her father. But she'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? This is exactly what the Dane was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Again, we're not a diplomat, though, as we've discussed from previous quests.
I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
Blue murder. That's a little bit funny. It's a good line. Okay, I think that there's a clear winner in this fight. Should it break out?
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. But now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Griga wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street.
Why is she approaching from that direction? That makes no sense. She would have had to give them such a wide berth to get around to the backside and approach them from there.
Ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore. You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a branded.
Jealous, are you?
You could just deny it.
That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griga.
Clive!
There is history here.
I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
I'm glad you showed up when you did, because we were not even having a go at calming this.
Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand.
Why? Caer Norvent's in ruin.
Hear me? That was an order.
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes.
That might be a worse plan.
Those that we love.
Everyone we know and love can also go to Caer Norvent. It might be in ruin, but it has walls.
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for?
Love me like you did. That's a throwback to like 2 episodes ago.
But she is but a common...
Whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell.
Awkward. Oh, and look how the father-daughter are facing away from one another. That's called symbolism, everyone. There's deep meaning in that. Are we going to need to defend the town, or are we just going to kind of fade to black and sometime
The
later?
men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still won for numbers. Unlike the enemy. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I've fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back, I should be able to thin the herd.
All right. But take care.
Thank you. Both of you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
Gentlemen, do well to hold up things here. I'll be right back. I've got to... Oh, you know what? This isn't charged up yet. In fact, none of my big attacks are. Should we give it a second and let them charge up before we head down there? Well, let's at least get these two ready to go. There we go. Now we're just waiting on this one. We might be able to finish this whole encounter with this one if we're patient enough. That's why we're taking a nice leisurely walk. Remember when we found that boy and his father, and they were using bearers? That's when we first really saw the state of bearers in this world. There we go. And they were using bearers to, like, they were letting them be hunted by dogs or whatever. And I was like, oh, maybe this will be a series of, like, little side quests
There
where
are
we...
so many of them.
Like, eventually these kids gets eaten by, But eventually the kid will get eaten by the dog. And then it, like, immediately happened. No series of side quests. It was just like, no, instant retribution. That was beautiful. I enjoyed that. I'm glad he's dead, but I feel like they could have done more with it. Alright, here we go. Twister time. There we go. It's weird how it can absolutely bypass folks. Brilliant. I kind of wish that had a bigger AoE. I understand it's not meant to be an AoE. It does a little bit of an area of effect. But it's not really its primary purpose.
It's only just begun.
Right. No, this is a... Oh, never mind. I thought it was going to take us around to a different side of the city, and I got really excited because I thought it was going to be one of those kinds of quests. But alas, it is not. If you've got any big laser bolts you would like to unleash on the fella, now is the time, Joshua. Now is the time. Now would be, in fact, the best... Oh my gosh! See, he's got a big laser bolt. That is interesting. He's not pulled that one out yet. Oh, dang it, I didn't have to... Have a dodge. I forget that I do have, like, an emergency dodge button. That's just, like, the regular old dodge. Which is still, like, a fantastic option. It doesn't freeze him in place, which is why I tend to not use it. But, I mean, it does still exist, and if I have something other than this loadout selected, it's there. I have to think about it. And I don't want to think about it. I want to play using muscle memory and not intelligence, and that's the issue. Also, we've now leveled up to 45? 47! So I don't even remember getting to 45 or 6, and now we're 7. Hopefully the other sides of town fared as well.
That looks to be the last of them.
We're gonna just walk up on town and it's
Wonder how
gonna be
the
in
others
flames.
Better hurry back to town.
It all looks fine right now, but we'll see. We will see. Are they gonna pick the Dame as their new leader? I can be in support of that.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls at the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems
What kind of
we've
medicine are
survived,
they performing down
for
at
the
the
time
Vale?
being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire.
Yes. Explain how you're wrong.
That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it again, as did you, Sabine. His radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that, and I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship, I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any soldier in need of relief. And today there are more than ever before.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, my lady, but you still do. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to work together. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you.
Well said, Captain. Let this be a new beginning. Not only for Sanbreque, but for us.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done here, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
We might actually be about to wrap up a quest here. Oh my goodness gracious. So they are actually like genuinely patching people up over at the Vale. I thought that was some sort of like coded speak for a they'll feel better after they visit the Vale. It seems like there's actually men in need of a patching up here. So, or we assume, hey, you know, we've never actually seen the inside of this place. Probably not safe for YouTube, I
How
assume.
goes the treatment of the wounded? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
You've helped quite enough for one day, Clive. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town, it is the very least you deserve.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? A woman of your means could find a home anywhere in the realm, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago,
Backstory.
I had a life in the crystalline dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the veil that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter, all united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
I was not anticipating a tragic backstory. This is very well handled, though. Oh, and we got some orichalcum from it. That was actually lovely. A beautiful story, and they opened up my mind. Trophy earned. That's lovely. Okay, well.
That's the last one.
I think that that's probably a great place to call it there for today. Thank you folks for watching. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.